Good morning, Ospreys. You're watching UNF Now on UNF Media, where we bring you all the campus news you need now. I'm Annalise Delgado.
And I'm Jasmine James. So, are you excited for the lip sync tonight?
I'm so excited, but unfortunately I'll be in class. But I will get to make the breakfast.
What's that about?
It's food that's being served by student government after the lip sync. I'll have more about that in news.
All right, sounds great.
Beyonce got a lot of flack for lip singing at the inauguration, but mouthing the lyrics will be encouraged at tonight's Nest Fest lip sync. Come watch your fellow Ospreys perform group lip syncs tonight from 8 to 10 in the Lazara Performance Hall. A special guest will also host the student government sponsored show. And if you attended the lip sync tonight, if you find yourself just ravished after watching so many spectacular performances, all you have to do is take a few steps out of the theater and a free breakfast will be awaiting you on the green after the show. The late night breakfast will be served tonight from 10 to 11:30, and if you see some familiar faces passing out this free food, that's because the homecoming king and queen candidates have volunteered to help out. And with this hard freeze this weekend, and it's continuing to be cold weather, it just hasn't felt like Florida. Here's hoping it'll warm up for you, Ospreys. Let's check in with your UNF Now weather report. Have you ever wondered how C.S. Lewis was able to write such a compelling tale, or how J.K. Rowling created a magical world that has enraptured us for years? Along with sheer talent, solid storytelling skills are key. You too can learn the art of storytelling tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 in the Herbert University Center, Building 53. This is the first of a 5-part workshop that has allowed writers to craft creating original stories. The cost for this course, entitled Creating the Hero's Journey, is $119. And some students go through the college experience needing some direction or someone to look up to. If this sounds like you, maybe you could find a mentor at the panel discussion called Black Women of Influence. This event, which features Black women who hold leadership positions, will be held tomorrow at noon in the Student Union West, room 3703. You don't have to be Black or a woman to attend, as everyone can benefit from the knowledge and advice of community leaders. Now let's go to Jasmine James with your Entertainment Now.
With your Entertainment Now, I'm Jasmine James. From the director that brought you Legion comes a new supernatural horror, Dark Skies. Audiences everywhere get to watch along as disturbing occurrences terrorize a small-town family. It becomes even more terrifying as we find out that evil paranormal forces are behind it. If you're looking for a good scare, check out this new film coming to cinemas this Friday, February 22nd. Moving from the big screen to your home screen, critically acclaimed Argo is released this week on DVD. Based on a true story, director Ben Affleck plays a CIA agent who creates a phony film in order to help 6 Americans escape a hostile situation in Tehran, Iran. Argo won 2 Golden Globe Awards for Best Director and Best Motion Picture, as well as being nominated for 7 Oscars and 3 Golden Globes. Now let's check in with Sam Hauser to see what the world of sports is like today. Here's your UNF Now Sports Report.
With your UNF Now Sports Report, I'm Sam Hauser. The UNF baseball team got its season started on a high note with a 2-1 series win over West Virginia. After their rendition of the Harlem Shake came out hours before first pitch, the Ospreys took Game 1 4-0 before a walk-off win in Game 2. West Virginia closed the series with a 4-3 win. North Florida Rugby capped off its season series sweep of Miami on Sunday with a, hold on to your chair, 79-0 win. The Hurricanes forfeited the first match on October 20th, 2012. The Deadbirds head to Ave Maria University on Saturday for the regular season finale. We have a very special guest at UNF Now this morning. Today joining us in the studio is UNF men's basketball coach Matthew Driscoll. Coach, thanks for taking time out of your morning to talk with us.
It's always awesome to be with you, Sam. I've enjoyed our time together, and I'm really looking forward to these questions because I think it's questions that need to be answered and questions that are going to hopefully espouse some people to come into the stands for this last homestand.
Definitely. Well, let's get right to it. You guys are 5-9 so far in conference. When you look at losing your top senior, the new freshman class, new members of the coaching staff, what has been the most daunting task for you this year? What's been the most difficult thing to overcome?
I think of all those things you've listed, and they're all very, very important in their own way. Of course, you're losing a staff member like Bruce Evans to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, which was a great plus for him. And then you look at the freshman class that we had brought in, but losing a player like Jerron Granberry, obviously someone who came in as a first-team preseason all-league player and someone who scored well over 1,000 points and has done a lot of things for us since the beginning 4 years ago. I think probably of all those three things, that was probably the toughest at the beginning to overcome. I think the guys have done a great job. I think they've really moved forward, and I think some other guys have stepped up to the plate, so to speak. But I would say that would probably be the one thing that was probably the hardest for all of us from an emotional standpoint and from a basketball standpoint.
Looking at the freshman class, which one of them to you? We've seen Bo and Bebe and get some significant playing time lately. Which has shown the most promise for you in their freshman year?
I think with Bo starting, obviously he's done a great job. And the one thing about him is he plays extremely hard, very, very competitive. Right now at this stage, it's almost like he's in a little bit of a freshman lull where they kind of hit the wall a little bit, and we need him to recover. We need him to get back on track like he was, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. Bebe Daniels obviously has come on slow, broke his ankle before coming to school in the summer.
Wow.
So really didn't have a lot of summer work with the guys. So when he came in the fall, it was kind of new to all of us kind of what he could do. And obviously, he's just a springboard and very, very energetic and does a lot of great things for us and can shoot the ball very well from three. Maybe our second most consistent shooter from three. And then you look at Ray Rodriguez, who's played more and more lately, and his minutes have increased, and obviously plays with a lot of confidence, and a young man that really has had some ups and downs, but is going to be a very, very good player is Cameron Naylor, the young man from Providence as well. The one guy nobody got to see, obviously, tore his ACL, Aaron Bottinger. And the one thing about Aaron is the fastest return from an ACL that our trainer, who was at Texas for 7 years doing basketball at Texas, has never seen before. So maybe another Adrian Peterson in the making, who knows. But the freshman class has done a great job, and this is a big weekend for us. Yeah,
we got homecoming on Saturday, and some of these guys in the senior class were some of your first recruits. And now one thing that you focus on as a coach is not just building these guys as players on the floor, but off the floor as well as men in society. So just take us through some of the seniors and some of the transitions you've seen them go through in their time at UNF.
Well, I think Parker Smith is probably the one we should start off with at the top. And here's a guy that already has his degrees, working on his master's, was a transfer, came into us as a very frail 142-pound young man who could shoot the ball. He could shoot it when he was at Tennessee State, where he started out and had 31 on Austin Peay as a freshman. And obviously he's broken every record here from the three-point line and has a really, really great gift and a knack of putting the ball in the basket. I've coached the Big 12 all-time leading scorer in the history of the Big 12 Conference for 3 years and was a great shooter. But I've never been around a kid that can shoot it like him. And I'm very proud of Parker and what he's done basketball and off the floor. The next one I would say to talk about the most would be probably Andy Diaz. Andy's got the most acclaim as far as all-league players and coming into this season. Unfortunately, got a little bit of an injury prior to our Kansas State trip where his brother plays. And has come back from it, though, and has recovered well. He leads the league in field goal percentage. He's having his best year from shooting that he's ever had since he's been here at UNF. 1,000-point scorer, broke another 1,000-point again, like Parker. So here's two guys. You throw Jerron in that mix, too.
Right.
We had 3,000-point scorers, which is pretty impressive for that class we brought in when we first got the job. And then the two guys that probably get the least talked about, get the least accolades, probably might end up being the two most important guys that we talk about maybe for the rest of our lives as coaches here at UNF, and that's David June and Will Wilson. And David's having a phenomenal senior season, and he really does a lot of things that nobody gets to see because it's not on paper.
Right.
Many of Parker's threes are directly related to David June getting him open and getting him the ball to make those threes. And obviously, David being a senior and making key free throws in a couple of our wins already this year. And lastly, Will Wilson has a chance to be the assist-to-turnover leader and wants to be the Defensive Player of the Year, which is his goal coming in. He shattered the assist record for one season already here at UNF and has had a great, great, great year. Had his best game Friday night statistically on an offensive end when he had 13 points and 9 assists in the game against JU. So Will Wilson has done a great job as well, too. When you put all those guys together, they still have a chance to be the winningest group to ever play at UNF, which is a great tribute to them. And obviously, we want to make sure they finish the season strong. We've always done that since I've been here, and I don't expect anything less than that as we go into this homestand. One more road trip, and then off to the A-Sun tournament.
Definitely. I want to quickly go back to the end of last season. You guys went to the conference championship 2 years ago, and then obviously last year ended things a little bit early in the first round, and you lost to ETSU. Just sort of take us through the feeling in the locker room after that loss. Did it feel like more of a setback because you had been to the championship, or did you guys see it as more of an opportunity for this season?
You know, from an athletic standpoint, you always look at it that way. On the outside, you say to yourself, most wins in school history. You know, based on, we played 7 BCS schools. We played, I think we played 2 teams that made it to the Elite Eight, one to the Final Four. So obviously the schedule was very difficult to even win 16 games, which was a great credit to those guys.
Yeah.
To go in as a 4 seed, obviously the highest seed ever that the schools ever had going into the tournament, play a 5 seed, was a very, very mutual task in the sense that both teams were pretty even 4-5, and it was a 2-point game. Obviously, we missed a shot at the buzzer to win the game. So I think it was disappointing from that aspect based on the year before when you go in as a 6 seed. Since I've been here, 6 seeds always played for the championship. Our first year here, 4 teams tied for first, and none of those teams made it to the championship. 5 played 6. So our guys did a great thing as sophomores last year, I would say. In their minds, probably a setback, not getting back to the championship. And then this year, obviously, the way the season has unfolded with a lot of different things that have happened, our guys have been great. No excuses, no reasoning. Just need to keep on playing that next game. And obviously, Thursday night, East Tennessee State at home. Saturday, doubleheader with the women with USC Upstate and senior night. And really a great way to pay a tribute to these guys that came in when our school became Division I in basketball and really came to a place that a lot of people didn't want to 4 years ago. And now, with our recruiting classes we've been able to secure, it's getting more and more and more recognizable. And, you know, just look at the JU game, for instance. You talk about a game now that has much more significance than maybe it ever had before.
Right.
Number one is inside the league. How important it is to have a league competition inside the league where you're going against, you're 8 miles apart from you. You're separated. And it's so much inside the league that can happen because of that. Number 2 is the fact that there's River City Rumble points. We've got the barrel last year. We want to make sure we continue to have the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
And then lastly, it's become much, much more of a game because it's become more of a game. I think before we got here, the games may not have been where we'd want them to be at UNF. But now that we've gotten here and our guys have been able to compete, the games have been phenomenal games. This year, unfortunately, were both close games that we came up short with on both of them.
Yeah.
But this group of seniors really, really, really deserve to have a great audience and their final game, especially on Saturday at 4:30.
All right, well, Coach, we really appreciate you coming out to talk with us today.
Absolutely, Sam. It's always great to see you, and it's always great to talk about the program and what our young men are doing both on and off the court. We had the highest GPA that we've ever had.
Congratulations.
And thank you. 8 guys over a 3.0, and we're really proud of that as well, too. So we just need to continue to fight. We need to continue to compete. And like anything else in life, just like this radio show you used to do, this TV production, all your people behind the scenes, when they have consistent effort, they'll get consistent results. And that's what we're all looking for.
Well, good luck in the last 2 home games.
Thank you, Sam.
Make sure you check out our website at unfmedia.com and also make sure you like our Facebook page, facebook.com/UNFmedia. Thank you for tuning in and check in with us anytime you need your news now. Have a great day, UNF.